About 5 years ago, Kevin and I decided, a little less than 5 years ago, decided to move to Sarasota. And when we moved down, we were just dating, we weren't married yet. And we decided we wanted to come and give this place a try. We love the beaches, we love the atmosphere, really just fell in love with the area. Kevin eventually got the position as the director of the Siesta Key Chamber, and right after we got married, got notification that his GI Bill was going to expire if we didn't use it. And he'd been wanting to go back to school, get a master's degree. So we talked about it and knew that it would be a big sacrifice, that he'd be working more than 40 hours a week and going to school full time, and that we were going to be remodeling our house. But we knew that it was the right thing to do now at this place in life. And so it's been a long 2.5 years. I am addicted to HGTV thanks to my dad. One of my favorite shows is the Backyard Makeover Show. And so I saw that there was a contest for a $10,000 backyard, and I thought, well, I gotta enter that because our backyard was hideously ugly. And it was the last project that we had to do on our house. So yeah, so I just decided to give it a shot.
We launched this contest in January as a Facebook social media campaign with the help of the Observer Media Group, and we received about 250 entries. And so what happened after that was that our designers sat down and culled through every single entry, looked at all the before photos, read their stories, and then culled it down to the 3 finalists. And at that point, we opened it up to the public for public voting. And the public really liked the Cooper story, and we couldn't agree more. To
enter the contest, you had to submit photos. I think it was up to 3, and either 75 or 200 words, whatever it was, wasn't enough for me. So I had to really think about the story, you know, why I wanted to win. And it was all about, you know, giving back to Kevin after everything he's done and all the sacrifices he's made to get through school while we're both working full time and remodeling a house. I just wanted him to be able to graduate and walk outside and just rest. You know, we haven't done that for a while.
I'll probably never live it down, but I told her not to enter the contest. I didn't want everyone to see how horrific our backyard looked, and I knew it would be, you know, exposed to the public. And I don't know if I didn't think people won contests like this, but you know, sure enough, her best instincts were not to listen to me, and she went ahead and entered anyway. And it was all from there. It was really it's all her, you know. So most like everything, it was all her.
What we really liked about the Cooper's story is that they're such a young, hardworking couple. Here's Kevin. He's executive director of the Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce. He's working 60 hours a week. Then when he gets home, he's studying for school so he can graduate in May. And then here's Missy, who's a media planner for the Ringling Museum of Art. There's not enough hours in her day either. And the fact that Kevin served a tour of duty in Iraq, when you walk up to their door, there's an American flag there. Their whole story of the love for their country. They're young, hardworking. They want to start a family. It was a great story, and we did not vote on them as the winners. The public did. So that was another endorsement of why their story was so compelling.
When we won, they called actually and said, hey, you know, voting is going to be over and we want to do final interviews with everyone. Can we set up your final interview? And I'm very gullible, so that worked very well. And I said, sure, we'd be happy to do another interview. We did some interviews throughout the process. When the Observer showed up, Emily Walsh came and knocked on our door and asked if I could come outside. And when we walked out, there was champagne and a big sign that said winners in these big purple letters, and it took me a second to process the fact that they were coming over to tell us we had won. That was an awesome moment. It was really amazing.
The next step in the process was for the designers from artistry to come out and kind of evaluate the situation. They hadn't all been out and seen everything, so they wanted to come out and do it, and it was really interesting. They had 4 different designers work on it, so it wasn't just one perspective. They all came out and got their different perspectives on what we wanted. And then they sent us a questionnaire, and so we answered a good number of questions about what we like to do outside, how we envision our backyard, what our tastes are. So they really put a lot of time into understanding what we wanted and how they could best serve us, which was the best part. It wasn't nearly about them showcasing themselves, it was about them meeting our desires and our needs. That was really, it kicked the whole thing off on a really good foot, because we knew that we were in with a good partnership team that was really interested in what we wanted. So there was a good amount of just evaluating what we wanted, the space that we had, and what they could do to maximize the space. Once they kind of talked to us and got an idea of what we wanted and they got to view the space, They went to put together a preliminary plan, and then we went down to the Artistry Center down in Venice, and we sat down in the presentation room and saw the whole thing up on the screen. They walked us through, every inch of our backyard and how it would work, what would be planted there, how it would look, every curve, every nook and cranny and everything. And then they just said, look, is this what you want?
We asked the Coopers what they wanted to get from their landscaping, what their goals were to achieve, and what kind of plant materials they liked, and really did the same conversations we do with everyone. How do you want it to look? And then we took their answers and we built a custom plan for them to fit those needs.
And they gave us a chance to go, no, do this, do that. And of course, Missy and I, we're good with certain things, but we're not great with landscaping. So we just loved every second of it. But they gave us a chance, and that was really great for us. We had the opportunity to give feedback. Of course, the feedback was all positive, but they were open to it, and that was cool. They didn't force anything down our throats. They made sure that we were very comfortable with it before they solidified the final plan.
It was a wonderful team building exercise. We all put our heads together, and we all think differently and creatively, and everyone has different styles, and if we all did our own plans, they'd look completely different. But then when we take and we put something together as a team, then you get up with bits and pieces or percentages of each of us that come into the design, which is really neat. And it was actually a first for us as well, so we were very pleased to work on it that way.
The process, once they started, I would say in total took about 3 weeks, which is amazing because that's way shorter of a time period than I would have ever expected this much work to be done in. It was a lot in 3 weeks. The most fun part for us was every day when we came home, something was different. Coming home to see the palm trees was mind-blowing. It was unreal. We knew they were putting palm trees in. We didn't know they were putting enormous palm trees in. And to see the impact that just that made in the backyard, they could have stopped and we would have been blissfully happy. I mean, really, at that point. And that was like the second thing they did. We came and stood out here and I was like, that's good enough. We're good. We don't need anything else. It's perfect. And then they just kept coming back and doing more and more and more and more. And even up until the day that it was revealed, they took so much time and put so much effort and energy into making sure that it looked perfect. I mean, they were combing through every single plant and making sure that there was no piece of grass out of place. I mean, they really take so much pride in what they do, and it was so obvious because we never in a million years could have pulled this off.
We just want them to think of this as their own personal paradise on earth, so that when they start a family, and who knows, they might get more dogs, we don't know, but that the landscape grows along with them, we are just thrilled for them.
Would I recommend artistry is a silly question. It'd be, why wouldn't I recommend artistry? It's from the initial process all the way throughout. I mean, the sales executives are really consummate professionals that are asking everything about what you want and getting the nuances of how you foresee your outdoor space. And then they have a whole different team that comes up. They have irrigation specialists, they have palm specialists, they have plant specialists. They have all these people that are really focused on all these different intricate pieces that are all living pieces of your backyard. And all of them are focused on perfecting exactly your vision for what you want. It's not about them, it's about you. And that's the amazing part about it is they have all this bulk of knowledge, and they know all this stuff that most people don't know. And yet they bring it down to your level, and they focus on exactly what you want. And nothing could be more perfect than when you step out and you see that final product, and you never could have envisioned it, and they envisioned it for you.